On this slide, we can actually see eigenvector centrality. The eigenvector centrality is a measure that shows relationships in groups, and it's defined as a gray cardinal. Gray cardinal is a figure that have few contacts with people that have a lot of contacts. And this usually is explained well, like in the mafia context, like Corleone, because he knew few people, trusted people, that are very well connected with all the others. So here actually we see that this group have a very high eigenvector centrality, and it's always the blue dark area that we have seen in the beginning. So here in the next slide we can actually see we stratify the groups. We ask to create clusters, and the computer create us through a statistical analysis some cluster, actually 123 cluster, and we can see that how many people and companies are inside these clusters. And we can see from the highest one is G1, the one with more vertex inside, to the lowest one. And we can see that the biggest compact area is G1, followed by G2, but like G1 have 250 vertex around, like the other one is around 100. So what we have done here, we just select the first 15 groups, the biggest groups, just to have a clear idea. And here we can see, so the same graphic with a smaller number of groups. It's clear from the image that most of these groups, actually 14 over 15, have the same structure, that is a star system. We have a central star, that is the company, that is paying several doctors. But this was clear from the beginning, because the database shows us that it shows us the money transfer between one company and the doctors. So actually we would expect this type of structure. Well, what we would not expect is the nebula, the dark blue area that is there, that is G1. So here we can see different groups, how many internal arcs, connection there is inside the group. And we can see that G1 is the one with more internal arcs, so that means that they have a lot of connection between them. While the second graph on the right shows us the external arch, how this group is connected with the rest of the environment, the other network. And we see that G1 is quite high. But the most important part is how well connected is G1 between its vertex. Because it works like a very tight group. So we analyze now not the first 15, but the first two groups, the most numerous groups in the network. And we have G1 and G2. We start from G2, group 2, and we see that this is the light blue area, and we have the structure with a central company and several doctors around it. And this structure was clearly expected. But we can see on the graphic on the side, on the pie, that the type of involvement between the company and the doctors is a preferred stock. A preferred stock is a special stock exchange action that where if the company produces money, this doctor will gain money before other investors in the stock exchange market. But if the company loses money, they will not lose anything. So it's a safe area for doctors. The second, the first group actually is G1, and is the most interesting one, because here we don't have the single star. We have several companies inside the nucleus of this nebula, and actually there are only 8 companies. These 8 companies are interacting through the same doctors all the time, most with a small amount of money or small amount of investment, and with a lot of small transactions, very high frequency transaction of small amount. Of course, if I don't want to show, I want to not be seen from the government, it's easy to have a small amount of transaction with high frequency instead of a big one once. And if we imagine this is only 5 months in 2013. So our the Excel shows us this type of structure, and so we actually ask ourselves, what type of industries are there? The inside of the industry inside the nucleus are actually 8 different companies, where we can see that 3 of them are all laser surgery companies. And other 4 are cryosurgery companies. And 1 is a medical service company. And if we actually think about from the medical point of view, we can actually see that the laser and the cryo actually do a very similar job. They make a scar, one using the heat and one using the cold. But actually the function is the same, is to create a scar. So actually you can see that these 7 companies plus 1 that is doing service, medical service, generic medical service, are very strong attached to medical doctors, and they are attached to the same ones. Of course, if I want to influence the international literature and I have a strong group, then it's easier for me to create a group around me and involve them in the same path as a team. This way I have 7 industries with a similar action and 1 that facilitates the communication with the other doctors, a medical service. So now we want to see what type of company of value transfer is actually inside, and actually we can see that is 98% is a membership unit in limited liability company ownership interest. What actually is this? This is usually a small company where they give membership, a sort of equity, but with limited liability. That means that if the company creates a damage, this membership will not suffer from this damage. They will be not involved. And at the same time, they are not involved, but they get money before any other else because they are members. So at the end of this, we see that social network analysis actually create 123 clusters with different structure and size, and we actually understand the 2 biggest groups and their structure and the different type of transaction they're actually using, and the quantity of money and the frequency, and also we actually underline the strategic plan. In the group 2, we have big transactions to several in one, let's say in one solution. In the other one, we have high frequency transaction with a small amount with people that are actually working with all these type of companies. So even if there are 7 or 8 companies, they're actually working as a team, like it was one. So also using different centrality method, we could understand the most influential cluster in the network. In this case, it was G1. And we could also identify the type of industry and even the name of this industry that we will not show during this presentation. So for conclusion, our results show that social network analysis is useful to unreveal interaction between pharmaceutical company and physician, but also to unreveal potential risk of lobbying activity in the pharmaceutical world and medical field. So I would like to thank you for your kind interaction, and sorry that I was not able to be in Boston for this presentation. Thank you very much. If anybody of you want to collaborate, they can write me on the email. Thank you very much.